250 miles to the west is Alden, Kansas, home base for Frederick Harvesting. They've got 8 of the biggest combines manufactured by John Deere, 10 trucks and up to 20 men. Half of them are Americans and the rest from Australia, Ireland and the UK. It's where James and Will are heading. In the spring of each year, the workshops are buzzing with activity. The company is owned by Lance Frederick and his brother Drew. They started out with just 1 combine and 1 truck, and an overdraft. 20 years later, Frederick Harvesting is one of the biggest operators in the business. Lance likes to meet the men at the airport himself, so that he can tell them what to expect, and work out what sort of people they are.
And the township hall, that's where we have our meetings. This is the main street of Alden. Pretty impressive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a post office, a craft shop, a bank, a restaurant, and us. And that's what there is. This is it. So, this is some of the crew trailers we got. This one was where you'll stay for now. So, we'll get your stuff and we'll put it in there. And here's your new home for the next 6 or 8 months. So the beds and everything are back here. We're just got a washer and dryer and a satellite TV. This is the one you could be in for now. I thought Panda was in one of these beds. I'm not sure what Chopped asked me, but clothes can go in here.
Yeah.
And distribute your stuff, and there's bedding's all made up and everything, so.
All right.
But a lot of work. Like I said,
After a lightning tour of the premises, Will and James are set to work. The engineering workshop is really impressive. 3 weeks before harvest, and Lance has set a crew to removing the sleeper from a truck before cutting 48 inches out of the chassis. Lance has taken on 3 mechanics this year: Gus from Australia, Matt from Idaho and AG from Shropshire. All 3 are top operators. And for Lance, assembling the right crew is crucial. He regards it as the most important part of his job.
It takes guys that are grease guys that can just do the greasing to that, to computer guys and everything in between, from the mechanics to the operators. You don't want too many mechanics. That's, if you have all mechanics, that may not be the good in the field. And if you don't have some mechanics, then the field guys can't work as well, so it takes a broad group of guys to put it all together.
You seem to have 3 lead mechanics at the moment. You've got an Aussie, you've got a guy from Idaho, and a guy from Birmingham.
Yep. Yeah, we got 3 very, very good mechanics, and a lot that have to do with trucks, which not always comes on a crew. A lot of them come from farm background, no more farm maintenance, bearing seals, that kind of stuff. Not as much into this technical aspect of everything we're doing, because we're pulling transmissions, putting rear mains in engines, brake jobs, just everything that needs to be done, and these guys have really stepped up and they'll help us get started real good.
Each year, working almost from scratch, he needs to assemble a team of men who can work as one unit of 20, or which he can break down into several different sized groups. These modern combines are so productive that there are not many farms with the right infrastructure to handle 8 machines working together. Lance is always on the lookout for the right balance of skills and temperaments, and remember, he conducts all his job interviews on the phone. When it comes to personnel management, Lance has a really tough job.
It's a 12-month-a-year job for us to hire people. I mean, you know, we don't even get done with 1 year and we're already looking to the next year for labor. There's lots of guys that say, well, it's not going to work out this year, for next year. Well, I have a whole folder of the file that those go in, and we'll contact them if they haven't contacted us, if they look good on paper this time. So it's a constant just part of the process. If you're going to be a harvester anymore, that's just life.
At Fredericks, the men work from 7 in the morning until 6 at night. Then after supper, they're expected to practice truck driving. But these blokes are so keen on machinery that for most of them, an hour or two at the wheel of a Kenworth is the best part of the day.
They put a full day in, then they come in, and then they've got to learn what they've got to do for like schooling. You know, it's practicing the driving, practice their written tests or reading their tests over, and that as we go along. So it gets the last 30 days before harvest. There's lots to be done.
Do you think they knew how much work there was going to be, how long the hours were going to be?
I hope so, because I try to explain that when they come here. You know, it's a lot of hours. Harvesting normally is not physical work. It's a lot of hours, and if you can't take that, we're definitely not the place to come, because you're gonna put a lot of work in.